Hello, good evening, and welcome to a very special Tuesday night show in Ticker's Tea Room. I hope you were all well. So let's get our guests in. First of all, we have our regular who glues the show together. It's Brian. Hello, Brian. Keep calm and carry on. Yes, thank you.
I brought as we're having a very posh Ticker's tea room today. I thought, well, I'd bring the most posh cup that I have for tea. So.
Excellent. Then we have the normal boys here. Okay, so we can't really see much of them, but they'll lie down, I'm sure, in the normal place. The craze is normal. And we have a very special guest today of Patel Phillippe, otherwise known as Tanzil. Hello, Tan. How are you doing?
Gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon. How you guys doing?
We're good, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite shows in the afternoon here on the East Coast, the Tea and Tickers show. Want to say a big hello to the Tickers fam as well for having me here.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. So let's see, we've got 20. Well, no, we've got 14 in the room. But we've got loads of comments. Let's see what's going on. We've got SD43. Hey, thank you. So you're my fellow northerner. Thank you, SD43. How are you doing? Uncle Chonga, the bus service is full. Yes, absolutely. Matt H, friend of the show. Good evening, everyone that voted. Thank you, Matt H. Please upvote everybody. Apparently, it's good for the algorithm. The gangster. This is the one way. This is one way to stop Tan from rebel streaming you.
I'm so sorry, Tickers. I had no idea. I wasn't paying attention, and then I was just like, man, I'm really sorry. So yes, this is a good Gary. Gary's got it right. Yeah,
absolutely. He's good, but yeah, nice one, gangster. Be good to see you in a couple of weeks at the show. Yes, good evening, Tanzil. Thank you very much. Chili Badger, hello, all you fellow Watch lovers. We have so much in common. Yes, our admin, thank you very much. John Gus saying hello to Tan. Watch Apprentice, he's saying hey, Matt H. Hello, Watch Apprentice, how are you doing? Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Everyone needs to get a room. Terry, Civil Watch Austin, evening all. This should be interesting. Absolutely. Nothing but watch talk here, guys. No drama, no crap, no nothing. Max has got me brew ready. That's good. Absolutely excellent. Everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Yeah. I will try. I've got actually something wrong. I was talking in the show. I've got something wrong with my microphone. This is before I did a software update, and it seemed very low.
Get closer.
Sorry? I'm trying to get closer. Look, see where it is. I'll be giving head to it in a minute.
That sounds better.
It actually sounds better, yeah.
Does that actually sound better? All right, I'll have to be here. I don't really like it in my face, but if that's what it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be.
Tickers, get close enough and put your lips on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not giving head to the microphone, thank you. So does that sound okay? It's like nearly as big as my head now. All right, never mind. It'll have to be. It has dropped on the floor a couple of times in its life, so it might actually be broken, but we'll see. It's funny. It worked the other day, okay? Never mind. Okay, thank you anyhow. We'll see. Thanks for pointing out, Watch Apprentice, anyhow. I thought it might have been fixed, but okay. SD43 says, I'm off then. Why are you off, mate? Just hang around. It's all good round here.
Because you said no drama.
Oh, no drama. Oh, see, right, got you.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some drama for you. Why can't we get somebody that owns a decent car like an Aston Martin on this show?
Ooh, you don't know, Chad might have one of them in his sleeve as well. You don't know.
Ooh, I do love me an Aston Martin. DB5, DB6. Those are the two I'd like.
Oh yeah, but some of the new stuff. I mean, all right, we'll have a quick car talk. The 1-77. Come on, Tan. Do you remember that?
I don't actually. I'm not the biggest Aston Martin.
Oh, it was like a special edition they did a few years ago. It was like it was like a Vantage on steroids.
Oh, nice. Look, their V12s they sound really nice, and I'm actually my team in Formula One is actually Aston Martin, but more so because of their historical teams through Racing Point and Force India and stuff like that. So yeah.
And
I
yeah,
want
the company I work for sponsor the Aston Martin team, I think.
Oh, very cool.
If I didn't have a wife, I would find the DB9 Alfred Dunhill edition that had the built-in humidor in the armrest.
Oh, now that would be a tobacconist's dream, there, Brian. I would tell you.
Yeah, that would be my car. But I have a wife, so sorry.
Excellent. Right. Hello. Thank you, everybody, for joining on our little stream. I do appreciate it. Now, we're going to actually talk about some watches. Why not? So, what I will do, I will.
I mean, God forbid, tickers. We talk watches on a watch channel, right?
Yeah, no, it's what's going on. A watch channel talking about watches. My God. So you might have seen these knocking about. Lewis Hamilton apparently was sporting one the other day. What do we all think of these? That's what I was thinking as well.
It's a bit of a like, I mean, from my perspective, look, I like when the IWC did the Petronas edition, I really like that color scheme. I do like that tone of blue, but I don't know. For me, this is a bit strange. It's not something I'd be super interested in.
No, I think the white one is better than the Petronas color or whatever it is. But no, I mean,
wait. You think that white, all white, glow in the dark shitter is better than this?
Yeah, I don't think so. That's the one I was talking about, Brian. That's the one I do love. I think that's a beautifully made and put together. Nice. Yeah, because the collab watches are always a bit contentious, but I think they did a perfect job on that one.
Yeah, this is so sexy.
I like the IWC Mojave. I like the Top Gun one.
We're not asking you because IWC didn't go to war or space, so you don't care.
Yeah, but I am. There's a bit of a slant here that the guy who did the Sideways Born, he had an IWC. Renner. Yeah, he had an IW. He was wearing an IWC, so it's kind of military in a way.
So essentially, is this just like a watch that's like sprayed with superluminova? Like, is that what causes it to be entirely luminous? And really, Brian, like, what's the point of having this watch being entirely luminous? I'm trying to understand the value prop here, guys.
Well, and how long? So here's my problem with Lume altogether. Lume only lasts, unless you have like a Luminox or one of those balls that have the little radiated tubes and shit.
Yeah.
The Lume only lasts for a couple, 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour. If you've been sitting in the dark for 3 hours and you can't see anything, and then you look at your watch, oh yeah, I might be able to see a little bit of Lume left. Lume is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then this one, they incorporated Lume into the casting of the ceramic somehow, if I understand it right.
Yeah. Looks like
so
it.
Does that mean that the ceramic's going to get radiated and eaten alive, or what's the deal?
And is it 100% okay for your skin having all that Lume and stuff? Is it all right?
I'm so concerned about cancer, that I'm not worried about it anyway.
I just picture Tickers coming out of the sun into a regular just shaded area, and he looks like the Incredible Hulk or something, like with that just radiation on his wrist, right? Like it just
I mean, look at that. That looks fucking ridiculous, mate, doesn't it? Come on.
It's not even a good looking picture though. Like if that's their promotional picture, it's not even good.
Yeah, it just looks shite, mate. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like him at all.
It looks like something that should be on Men in Black or Ghostbusters, and when the enemy is near, it starts glowing.
Yeah, and this is actually in a like a serious watch. It's not in a kind of a gimmick watch where it'd be like a moon swatch or anything else. Like those ones I could get behind, but like something like this, a serious watch, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was hoping to find a price on this page here. Do we know how much they are, these things?
I would say that they're so appalled that they didn't even want to put the price up there.
It wasn't. I didn't see the price on them. I mean, they're going to be what? They're going to be what? What are they going to be, Brian? You're an IWC purchaser, so what would you say?
I own one, and that's all I need.
Well, it's more than I own, so how much is it
Well,
going to be?
the only reason. The only reason you don't own one yet is because IWC didn't go to the moon or to war, so you don't care.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. As I've said before, you get a picture of a door kicking a rat wearing one of these, and I'm all over him. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes, isn't it, with me? James Bond drops out of a helicopter wearing one of these, and I'll get one. You know what I mean? Oh dear, let's see if we can get a price. I just know they're horrible. Let's
I mean,
just see.
Tickers, what's the point of this watch? Like, I'm trying to understand any functional purpose. Is it just to like look at me, and like I don't know. I'm trying to get it, and I'm failing to get this watch.
No, same here as well. Exactly. I mean, I've got that PRX with the fully loomed dial, so you can get the fully loomed dial, but you can't get the fully loomed watch.
Yeah, like I'd say a good analogy in the tea and tickers show would be the person who puts way too much sugar in their tea, and you kind of say, "Would you like some tea with your sugar?"
Yeah,
that's the way I see that with this luminous watch, right? A little bit of lume's fine, but like, would you like a watch with all that lume, sir?
that's right. Exactly.
Do you have to wear sunglasses at night to look at it?
Well, I mean, Tickers is in a country where he doesn't probably get a lot of sun anyway, so when it does shine, that's really gonna glow, baby.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point. So it's really useless in England where the sun doesn't come out except for 3 hours on a Thursday in June.
I mean, I've got one of my G-Shocks that was completely dead the other day. 12 o'clock, midday, dead as a dodo. So I've stuck it on the windowsill, and it's not much. I looked today; it's not much charge so far. After over 24 hours, because I've hardly got any sun. It's going to take absolutely weeks to get even a quarter of a charge in that thing.
Yeah.
It's like you don't let your G-Shocks go dead in this country.
So I just scanned all of the IWC websites, and I don't see this watch on their website.
Is it a concept?
I think this was spotted, and they're spruiking it a little bit, but
yeah, it says it on the article right there. You have it up. It says this is a concept not meant to be commercialized at the moment. For more details, check out IWC.
There's no details. I'm checking out IWC, so Monochrome's lying to me. Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay.
Bunch of women.
You know what's interesting though, Brian? There are some watches that have been released that I wasn't able to find, and one of them is it was a Cartier Tanks. I think it's a Tank Solo with the mosaic dial. It came out in 23, but I can't even find it on Cartier's website. And I've seen a few like on some gray market dealers, but they released it and then it's just kind of never been put up on the site. So I don't know what's going on with that, because I know Higgins was looking for it as well when someone else brought it to our attention. But yeah,
well,
weird.
if Higgins is looking for it, then I definitely do not want it.
Word to the wise, guys. Word to the wise.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry we can't get a price on this guy, so it's just revealed it is actually a prototype. I just hope they don't bring that out into circulation, because I don't like it. So let's go and find a...
If it gets more than 3.7 million likes on Instagram, then they'll produce it. If not, then they won't.
Honestly, Brian, I think that the collab with Mercedes and your watch is they don't need to go more than that. I think that was really well done.
I am not a Mercedes fan, and I'm not an F1 guy. I really could care less about that. And I liked the fact that the collab mention is just the very, very light green writing around the back of the sapphire, on the back sapphire. That's it. That's all there is. The rest of it's just color. So. Now
the next one. Now this is weird. I don't think this is the correct kind of watch to have a tourbillon. It just seems weird. It's like having a tourbillon on a sub. It doesn't work. This ain't a tourbillon kind of. Don't you think? Am I wrong here?
So I mean, Tag is. I mean, they were really controversial when they came out with a tourbillon a few years ago, right? Like Patek Philippe and a bunch of the other high-end brands were pretty angry when I think it was a pretty affordable in the 15 to 20,000 euro range, I think it was. And so, I mean, this is their MO though. They have done a numerous, tourbillons in sportier watches. And honestly, like, I would agree with you, Tickers, in the traditional sense, but think about it. Even Moser have done a tourbillon in their Pioneer, which is their sport watch, right?
Yes.
Didn't they didn't tag to a tourbillon in that Super Mario or the
They
Mario
did.
Kart one?
Exactly. They did.
Yeah. And that went batshit crazy and is still selling for more than retail.
I would say that like this works in their kind of with the way they're trying to position their sport watches and having an affordable tourbillon. I think it works at the right price for them. That's been their real sweet spot, has been its affordability as opposed to it.
Watch, though. It's a sports watch with a tourbillon. A tourbillon to me fits in a high-end dress watch.
Tickers, we live in days and ages of like world time chronographs and like diver watches with there's insanity when it comes to like putting logic to purposes of watches in these days. So
I just say solid gold deep sea. Thank you.
Yes, I would agree.
Correct. So let's have a look at the spec of this. Now, what sort of price we're going to go? What sort of price are we going to go with this? If it's a proper tourbillon and not an open art? It's saying a tourbillon, so I presume is it a proper tourbillon? You think? Yeah, that's going to be. How much is that going to be for a proper? We're not. That's going to be 12.5 grand more.
Yeah, I would take a stab around. Are you talking about pounds or are you talking about US dollars?
It's always difficult what they price them in. Yeah, I'll go with dollars. We'll go with dollars. I go $50,000. I'm going to about 12.5.
And Tan, here's how I do it. I just pick some random currency, and then when I'm close, I celebrate.
I always think in I always think in freedom dollars. So I'm gonna go. So I think that because Tag has done a lot of some affordable tourbillons, I'm gonna agree with Tickers. I'm gonna go like 17.5 USD.
And I'm gonna put it at 28,000. What website are we on?
Blog to watch.
28,000 US.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
And I think they should charge more after they fix the gaping hole in the dial, but
Matt H agrees with me. He said it's not a good idea with a tourbillon on a sports watch. Thank you, Matt H. Anyone else want to have a stab at what the price is? If you're in the chat, if you know what it is, don't spoil it. But if you honestly actually don't know. Okay,
wow.
So Gangster is going for 25. Ooh,
so I think that's higher than what Brian thought. So
yeah.
Okay.
What is the pound doing right now?
I don't even try pound. I'm just gonna stick to US dollars.
I still have some limey bucks here at home.
You're gonna have to think about limey bucks in a few weeks, though, aren't you,
Brian? Yeah, like Brian, I have some Scottish notes that, like, I know for a fact are probably not going to be accepted in certain places in England. So yeah, I do have a bit of a dilemma there, Ticker. So I had some Scottish notes on my last trip to Edinburgh.
Oh, it's $1.28. Boy, last time I was there, it was like $1.12, $1.14.
Wow. Let's see what we can do on this spec then. Let's have a look.
So 25K in quid is 32,000 US.
Okay, so people are thinking it's not like a crazy expensive watch, and kind of looking at the finishing here, Brian, you could expect that, right? Like it doesn't look like it would be a $60,000 or $70,000 watch. It looks like it's
it's not got. I mean, it's not got like an embellishments and all that on the movement and everything, has it?
It's still a tag, and they just went next door to the haute horology department and snagged they snagged a tourbillon and drilled a hole in it.
I saw a beautiful tag the other day on Instagram. It was the black titanium. I think it was the WAY. I think it was 08C or 308. It was an 08C. Could be 308. It was beautiful. It was titanium PVD, and it was on a NATO strap, everybody, and it looked absolutely fantastic. Probably wouldn't have looked fantastic if it hadn't been on a NATO.
Wait, John, could you say that again? It looks fantastic on what?
On a NATO.
Okay.
Honestly, Tickers, if the price does show up as being affordable, call it affordable, right? Like something sub 40 grand, right? Like this was very controversial in the Swiss watch industry when they brought this out because, they're trying to protect the prices of, the pieces that they're making. And, Tag coming out with a tourbillon for 15, 20,000, like was pretty, it definitely, had a ripple effect in the industry, and to the point where even the CEO of Patek was responding to it saying, hey, like, we don't agree with, making these affordable, which is kind of a very, snooty way of saying it. But yeah, when he said it, I was like, okay, like that doesn't sound very good.
It's just like a chronograph with a tourbillon just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't, it's like.
So I'm going to disagree with that because I believe the benefit to a tourbillon is consistent accuracy in all angles, right? It's a higher, more accurate timepiece. What's more important to time is the chronograph function than the actual hours and minutes, because most of us are okay with losing 3 to 5 seconds a day. But if you're really timing something with a chronograph, you want it dead freaking on, especially if you're doing a 14.
The COSC chronometer certification has been dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be by design, right? But I would say, look, outside of that, like just looking at the watch aesthetically, Tickers, I actually do like it. I like the dial. I think, the tourbillon doesn't really bother me. Like I think it's a nice looking watch. And that's really been the value proposition to some people, has been outside of the Super Mario one that you were talking about, Brian. People do like the looks of these. And look, I think a lot of people want to get a tourbillon. This is one of their only shots at getting one from an affordability perspective.
I like the look of the glass box with the date at 12 o'clock. I think that's cool. But you can't do a date with a tourbillon because the tourbillon takes up too much room.
Yeah, absolutely right. Looks a bit of a chunky mother as well. Let's see. Let's get down to the price and see what it is. So it is MSRP is up from 15,950 to 24,050 USD.
Yeah, so they we were correct, Tickers, on it being the upgrade or part of that affordable tourbillon type of a category, and that is a decent jump, like 10 grand.
Yep. Right. And it's probably a Chinese-made tourbillon. But
yes.
But you can't tell because the made in China is on the back side of the tourbillon skeleton.
Yes. Right, so before we continue the next one, Brian, shall we have a shitter?
Super sticker.
Super sticker. Gorilla time. Sorry, you did put it. Yeah, €3.49 super sticker. Thank you, Gorilla Time, and welcome.
He must have tapped into his Maltese bank account.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, let's throw the logo out there, Brian.
Oh, you want it live?
Yeah.
And now it's time to rate my shitter.
Okay, so the famous Rate My Shitter is back now. Since I looked last time and flushed it, we haven't had any more in, so I've had to scour eBay to find one. It didn't take much to find one actually on eBay. There's plenty of them about. So before we actually show it, I'll explain to Tan what we do here. So we all have a look at it and we pull it apart and we rate it in T. So if it was nothing wrong with it whatsoever, which there never is, it would be a Yorkshire tea. If it's absolutely dire horrible, it's the worst dire horrible tea you can think of. And it can be as much as... You can just think how you want. Who could make the most horrible tea in the world? Or whatever you think about it. Or it could be a Lipton's tea. Or it could be whatever you think it is. So we just rate the shitter in tea.
It's gonna be tough there, Tickers. I'm of Indian descent. We love our tea. So I'm trying to think of a tea I don't like. So I'll keep that in the back.
Like, the last one I had was hospital tea, but the engineer had plumbed the machine into the sewage system.
Okay, I get it.
and
I get it.
produced tea, and that was the tea it produced.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, let's do
So
it.
here we go. Look at that. What do you think of that? Is that a what the fuck moment or what?
That was I wasn't expecting it to be this. I thought it was gonna be like, come on, Ticker, it's gotta be somewhat decent. Like, what are you showing us here? Like,
What the?
What the fuck? It's wooden. It's absolutely wooden. Someone destroyed a tree.
someone's destroyed the trim of like some broken ass Bentley from like 30 years ago and decided to put it in the center links of the bracelet. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm sure that something better could be made out of that wood, like an ashtray, or I don't know. There's something wooden could be made that would be more beneficial to the fucking world than that.
What the?
Brian's still so like
He's still
reeling with
processing it. He's still processing it. Let him.
Yeah.
They have more than 10 available, so they made multiple mistakes.
Yeah, and it's 20 quid. It's fucking 20 quid. It's been reduced. It was a bit more than 20 quid. It's been reduced. It got a bit of a percentage out of it.
Does it have a marked outer bezel? I'm seeing something below the 6 on the bezel, like a number, and I can't figure out what the.
Look, Tickers, I don't think the discount's enough when it says 4 or more and get it for like 20 quid. Like that's not a good enough discount to take 4 of these.
It's not. But remember, if a door kicker wears while I'm in. Let's have a look what it says. Does it say 06 there, Brian? Is that what it says?
Maybe I'm
No,
gonna.
no, it's not. I don't know. It doesn't say 06. I can't work out what it says. It's 2 letters carved into it. I fucking don't know.
That? Yeah, like what is that?
I have now discovered how to. Oh my God, there's other colors of this shitter too.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, we have all the colours.
Oh,
Look at that. There we go. Look at that one. Look at that one. Eh?
Oh, there's a couple of them on here where if you dropped them in the yard with the dogs, you'd sweep it up like one of their.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, look at that. What the fuck? Luxury. Fuck me, luxury. Whoever said that a luxury watch costs 20 quid? Fucking Nora, really?
Full bamboo bracelet. It says full bamboo bracelet, but that doesn't look like it's a full bracelet in bamboo. I don't know.
Let me ask this from a design aspect.
Yeah.
Why the red seconds hand?
Contrast.
Yeah, contrast. Yeah.
Or was that all they had left over in the factory, and they said, "Ah, shit, we'll just slap the red ones on."
We won't tell people that. Contrast.
I'm telling you, this is a GMT. Brian will be fucking all over it. Just
I'd be all over it.
Yeah,
I
all
would
over
order
it's a
12.
GMT. All over it. Now.
Oh, God! There's a skeletonized dial version of it.
Really?
It's an automatic movement.
No, it's a quartz according to the spec.
Oh no, the other one with the automatic movement, automatic mechanical movement with a skeletonized dial. It's more expensive. It's $34 US. These are I found my new watches.
Jesus Christ.
I know what this watch is. This is the watch that will stop watch crime in London.
Oh yeah, you wear one of them, they'll just piss themselves laughing. You get arrested because they go around robbing watches, and you see that they'll be on the floor rolling about laughing. You just wait to call the coppers and have them arrested for watch crime. They won't be going anywhere because they'll just be pissing themselves laughing.
So here's how it works. Everybody in London wears this. All the watch thieves will be laughing and peeing themselves, and then they'll all get arrested for public urination and shipped to France, where you can urinate in public for free. And watch crime in London will be solved.
Zero solved.
I was just thinking of wearing this as a decoy. Like I'll wear this on the left wrist, and then like Brian said, wear like a gold deep sea on the right wrist.
Yeah,
decoy.
Yeah. You see, it's called. I think the guy who owns the store is dyslexic, and it says Ackley. I think it should be Alki. It's spelled Akly. I think he spelled it wrong. It should be Alki. I think he's actually, I think he's on. He must be drunk all the time and design these things. 100%. How can you just? I don't know which one's worse looking. I don't know which one is actually the worst.
I don't know. These are fantastic. I'm ordering a whole set.
Yeah, look, the thieves would look at the left wrist on Brian's wearing this and be like, "Look, I see this gold deep sea on the right wrist, but there's no way a watch collector, anybody is going to buy a gold deep sea would ever own this." So they would assume it's his deep sea is fake and move on. Good decoy.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
wear this on the left wrist, have have a solid gold paddock on the right wrist, and nobody would ever notice. Yeah, I think you need to watch. I think Tickers, you need to walk into the Time London wearing a whole bunch of these.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Watch printed. I'm not going to discuss on this channel about Archie's remarks. I'm not discussing any drama on this channel. End of story to anybody. Panel or non-panel, I'm not asking them. So we're going to discuss these watches. What everyone else thinks. Can we get back on the subject of the watches, please?
Are we going to rate this watch? Because I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, you've got to rate it in T.
Okay.
So yeah, so you've got to rate in. I think this is like. I think somehow if it could somehow happen, like a 3-year-old could make a cup of tea with unsupervised, if it could actually be possible. That's I think that'd be that tea would be really really bad. If you could somehow I don't know.
I would say that there's some like this canvas of this watch. You could make something out of this. So someone made an Earl Grey tea. I'm not a big fan of Earl Grey. They made an Earl Grey tea. It's got the base to be nice, and then they just dumped a bunch of like jellied eel into the tea, like just all this bamboo stuff. Like, what did you do to this watch, guys? Like, and they just dumped a bunch of jellied eel, and then they served it to me, saying, enjoy your trip to London. Have some of our local tea.
Great.
Yeah.
Earl Grey tea with jelly oil.
With jelly eel, yeah. There you go. That's my take.
Yeah.
I would say this quartz one that you brought up here, Lord Tickers.
Yeah.
Do you know that when you come to the United States, all the hotel rooms have those paper coffee cups? Yeah, the in-room coffee makers, and they all have paper cups. Well, this is the tea that after you've made the cup and you've let it sit overnight and it's soaked through the bottom of the cup and leaked out onto the little table and then fallen into the floor. If you re-sucked up the tea out of the carpet, this is it.
Oh, sucked up carpet tea.
That's what I was thinking. Yes. A little bit of southern steeped sweet tea.
Yes. Now, if you buy the automatic version of this, I would just say that, this is just, old stale tea from a hotel. But this version was sucked up off the carpet.
This is the kind of watch Tickers I would take to like Watch Time New York. And I would buy the automatic version like Brian described. And I'd go to like I go to like Kerry Vlutenlainen's like, his booth, and I would talk to him about this watch. I'd be like, very unique finish, and I'm the only one in the world who does a bamboo. Like, I would talk some straight bullshit about this watch just to troll, because it's just that ridiculous. But definitely a fun watch to get in 4s there, Tickers. You can get it for £20 if you'd like to get a full 4-pack of these in different colors.
Jesus Christ!
No, that's 44 millimeter. Imagine it. Do you have any 24 millimeter NATO straps? Because then you.
Oh yeah, I've got one of that. Yeah, I've certainly got one. I've got one for me. Got a nice one for me. My Pro Master. That's 24.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just gonna adjust one thing. Yeah, I talk about someone else's channel because someone else's channel discussing the drama. And the whole channel was discussing that, and they were all people who were going in the house. There is nobody on this channel in this here, and that's including Tan and Brian and me, who are going in the house. So we're not discussing it. So there you go.
And I don't know about it.
There you go. That's fine. And it's my right to discuss whatever I want or not discuss what I want on my channel. because my name's on the door, above the door.
I was just told not to discuss Patek Philippe, so Ticker says, "Hey man, like we're gonna talk my watches, not your watches." So I'm here for the watch fun, guys.
But why not?
There you go.
Silly sausage. If the bracelet needs resizing, do you have to remove a link with a chisel? Yeah, do you know what? That's it. Yeah.
No, what you have to do is you have to hire a bunch of termites and direct them to eat the one you want removed.
Yes. Right. So we definitely think that's a proper shitter. You see, the dogs don't eat wood. These guys, they eat plastic. So I would actually, if I knew they eat wood, I'd buy one and then drop one into the pen below while live on a stream, just to actually watch them eat it.
I still don't understand how it's a full bamboo bracelet. Like it doesn't look like a full bamboo bracelet, and I don't even think a full bamboo bracelet's a good idea.
I think a bamboo bracelet is a good idea anyhow. Full, not full, 1%, 99%, whatever. It's just like shite. Right, let's get on to some more watches that we may like. Let me have a look what else we got. Oh, this one's okay. So what we have is the Fortis Novanaut Amity 24 hours Mars analog mission timer. So this is a limited edition, which could actually, when we go to Mars, they could try and get the program to take them. At the moment, Omega have got it with their X33 Mars timer, but I wouldn't be surprised if these guys don't try and steal the thunder. What do we think of it?
It's got too many buttons and dials and widgets.
It's definitely busy. It's definitely
busy.
busy,
isn't it? It's certainly a bit busy, isn't it? It is a bit busy.
But honestly, like the busyness did bother me, Brian, when I first looked at it. But like, I think that they got the hint of color on the dial. Like, it can work if you like busier dials, and honestly, busier dials are becoming quite popular. Yeah. So I can see this having some. I like the hint of color on the dial. I think that makes up for it being that busy. Contrast.
But if you think about it, it's got to be legible very, very... If this is going to be using space, it's going to have to be super legible very, very quickly. They can't fuck about and well, is that pointing there or is that pointing there? Everything is time critical, isn't it?
I think it'd be the balance about too much information on the dial versus like its legibility. Like, I agree with you on the legibility perspective. So I think they're trying to balance like getting as much information into this watch while also not overloading it, like you said, from a legibility perspective.
Yes.
Does it have GMT time on Mars? Because then I need it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, it does look pretty awesome, doesn't it? It does look pretty good, I think. I reckon this is going to be... What do you reckon? $6,500?
I'm going to go 5,500 US.
I'll take the lower end and go 4,200 just to be controversial and spicy.
That's probably more...
And
that's
boring.
probably... I mean, that's probably cheap. That's probably cheaper than the X33 Mars timer. Both titanium. Let's have a look. Important spec: 42 mil brushed titanium, 44 millimeter titanium bezel, 51 meters long, 15 millimeters thick, 200 meters depth rating. What's the point? You're not going to be diving in on Mars, are you? You know what I mean? There's no need for it, really.
Get closer to the microphone.
I'm nearly... Really? Can't you hear me?
That's better.
Jesus. Microphone's faked. I don't know. I don't want it. It might be a software thing. I don't know. We'll try and fix it later.
Now it sounds like you're mumbling in a distance.
30-minute counter placed in a rigid silvery ring at 12 o'clock. It's too busy. I prefer the X33, but as you know, I'm an Amiga fanboy. Okay, so the Austrian Space Forum teamed up with the Armenian Aerospace Agency for this year's mission. 4-week simulation in Armenia. were tested in Mars-like conditions. That looks boring.
That's the Armenian Tourist Bureau's motto. Come to Armenia. It's like Mars.
Yes. Yeah, Lejeune Perret designed a custom traversing bridge for added strength, stability, and tangential microscrew regulation. Space tested movement. So anyone know about the 40s Work 17? That's obviously their own in-house, isn't it?
No idea.
Yeah, I presume it is.
I would say as a
Okay.
whole, it's a good looking watch. Don't get me wrong. I think that like who's the buyer for this? You know, like really, like outside of it, like them telling the story that they're doing testing in Mars conditions, right? They're a business and they're trying to sell this. And
Fucking nerds like me. I've got the X33 Gen
yeah,
2.
that's
at
what
the
I'm getting
moment.
at, Tickers.
Nerds
Very,
like
very, very,
me.
very, yeah, very, very niche, very, very niche. I think customer base, but for this, but like I think like from a present, like how it looks, I like it. I don't think it's bad. I like the hint of color on the dial, and I think, like I said, busier dials are a bit in vogue these days. So yeah,
Let's get down to see what sort of €6,100. You're probably spot on the money. That's probably about what's
Yeah.
what's a
That's like
euro
six-
versus the dollar, Brian?
It's like 6,200. It's pretty close.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
I said
okay.
50. That's at 55.
Yeah, it's all right.
Close, but yeah, I mean, like it shows that it's not like they're not asking crazy money, and it's a nice looking watch.
Now
The problem is there's a lot of competition in that segment, and you're running up against you're running up against some really good stuff there.
Yeah, I just think that they're trying a bit hard to, like you said, differentiate, and then it's like, well, are you kind of losing the plot, like because that customer base may be very small, like Ticker said, he's into it, but the general population may not be.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, for a design atelier, I'd rather have a watch that survived 10 days out on the beach of Aruba.
Yes.
100%.
I'd rather take the watch there and have it survive for 10 days on the beach.
So what is it with full loom dial all of a sudden? So I've got my PRX, and now everyone's trying to do a full loom dial. So we've got these Zodiac Seawolf Pro Diver with a full loom dial.
Look, we're in the era of excess again. It's like the 80s all over again. Everybody needs to be flashier and flashier, but that's the truth, Brian. Like,
Yeah.
with so much ubiquity in terms of like Rolex is looking similar and Pateks looking similar, everyone's trying to do something crazy that no one's done, and that's kind of what's the byproduct of what's happening.
Yeah, so here's Zodiac doing two things that have already been done a lot: a full loom dial and green.
Don't like the no. I don't. Sorry, I don't really do green dialed watches, so I don't like.
And in reality, that's going to be a hard color to see in the water.
Is it? Oh right,
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, I like the
see.
bracelet.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
Okay, so
But
what
they could have used like shark mesh and other types of styles, I'd say.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see a picture of the loom? So this is gonna be. I reckon this is going to be around.
It looks like it looks like it's titanium from this picture.
Okay. So the Super Luminova lights up blue. That's okay, right? It lights up blue. Okay, full and down. Let's just have a look. New version. 42mm stainless steel. Stainless steel, right?
That's a
20
brush.
20mm lug spacing, 300-meter depth. Okay. Yeah, it's a pistachio green dial, black bezel, but apparently it lights up blue. It's interesting. I must admit, I do like the bracelet as well. Let's just see. We got a. So I reckon, yeah, it's got it costs certified STP because they own STP. The group does. STP 1-21 chronometer caliber. How much, Brian? How much do you think they're gonna want for this?
I'll go with $2,800.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say a bit
I don't
more
have any
than
idea.
that.
I was thinking like $1,500.
Okay, I was thinking about 3.5, perhaps.
3.5. Damn.
Yeah, quick release bracelet. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just think they're gonna. I don't know what's.
I thought I was being generous with 1,500.
Brian, go on, Brian. Patel Phillippe, Tan, thank you so much. $50. The loom lights up red. Thank you so much, Tan.
Well, you're like the
You're
loom lights
superb.
up blue, and I'm like a blue super chat. Come on, $2.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so
Come on.
much. That really helps. It really helps keep the dogs fed.
We love the dogs. We love the dogs.
Yes, thank you so much. Right, let's just have a look, see what everyone else thinks of this. So Matt H says 1.5K. Okay, he's gone 1.5K as well, the same as Tan. Anyone else want to guess before we reveal the price of how much it's going to be for this Super Seawolf with?
I'd be all excited if it had a bamboo bracelet.
Yeah.
Or it was a GMT.
You got a few more guesses in the chat.
And we got a few more guesses to see where we are with this. Okay. So, Peruka, 100 multi super chats for a new boiler. I don't need a new boiler, actually. I'm good. I had to sell that Viking Omega for a boiler, didn't I? Right. 2,000 quid from Chili Badger. Designer Atelier, 2,500 somethings, whatever. We'll go with 2,500, then you can... Oh, JT says 3K.
It seems like you're the one who's willing to pay the most for this, like you and JT.
Yeah. It's a case of not what we want to pay for it, it's what we think they want us to pay for it.
Oof. I think I'm being generous with 1,500, man, but...
Right, okay, let's just see. I won't mind a Vinci Super Seawolf, actually. They're quite nice. Let's go through and have a look and see what they want for... no, I don't like that green. Okay, cost certified. Okay. Oh, yeah, you see, it lights up blue. That Brian, that's quite nice, isn't it? That's quite legible.
Fantastic.
I like that colour blue, but don't like it being green when it's not lit up.
Yeah, for the first 5 minutes of the movie, you can see what time it is.
Yes. So, US dollars, 2,295 US dollars.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot, yeah.
What I mean, what's that? Is that Black Bay 58 money for you guys?
No, that's half a Black Bay. Well,
half a Black Bay, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about $1,500 off.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But you can probably get a second-hand Black Bay, couldn't you? For that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of always have been of the mentality that, like, people that like these watches, nothing wrong with liking these watches, but they tend to collect 3 or 4 of these types of watches. And, in that same money, you could have purchased, like Brian said, either a Black Bay, you could have gotten a, Speedmaster Pro, like Moonwatch. You can buy a lot of other things, right? Rather than, some of these watches that just fall short, I think, on a lot of things.
Yes. Yes.
But you're guaranteed not to get mugged for it.
That is... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Some of these micro brand events, you never know. It gets a little heated over there, Brian. People are, they're very passionate about the color of the loom and ensuring that there's bamboo in their bracelets, right? Like, get really contentious over there.
Yeah. Well, they're working on a bamboo beads of rice bracelet. Yeah. And old Georgie Porgy's trying to pull me out. So hi, Georgie.
Well, right, okay. So before we go to the next one, I just want to share everybody that I have got a blog site, a Tea and Tickers blog site.
Is it written in
launched the other day?
Is it written in English or in Mancunian?
Yeah, it's written in Northern. Right. So, basically, it's just my thoughts on various watches. It's an ongoing project. Obviously, it's only me writing it, and when I've got time and I work and look after dogs and stuff like that, and do this. But basically, the latest one is there, and if you click on it, it'll open up, and then you can comment on the bottom and leave comments, nice comments. And then I've got all the other all the recent ones. So the latest one is at the top, and then you've got all the other recent ones, including one here, which for you Americans, which is how to make a proper brew with a video, how to make a proper English cup of tea.
If you play it, then you're going to have to trademark yourself or copyright, strike yourself.
Yes. So please check out my new blog site. As I said, I'll try and put all these articles were done like last week. I'll try and update it when I can. It's an ongoing thing. So
honestly, I always like reading blogs like that because if you think about it, why is that book, why does everybody own the book A Man and His Watch, right? Like we don't own that book because of the watches necessarily in the book, but we own the book because of the stories. So I like to hear stories like this around like, hey, I've owned this for a year and what's my journey been like, and where did I get my first scratch? Like it's, to me, when I buy watches, like I specifically buy watches that have a story behind them that has some meaning to me, and that kind of breaks you out of the cycle of the whole have to chase the hype, because it also ensures that like you don't flick watches as quickly either because you're just buying for certain other reasons, right? So the story to me is very, very important. So I'll definitely check that out because I find that pretty cool.
Yeah, and let me just say that the importance of a blog is that when you write a blog, all the words become Google searchable. So if I'm searching for specific information on some obscure shitter watch that went to the moon or somebody wore as in the military or something, I don't have to rely on the hashtags and stuff like that from a podcast or from YouTube. I can find it in a blog real easily. And as long as the blog's written in American,
it hasn't got much traction in the search engines because it's only been up less than a week.
Yeah. But now that it's up there forever, permanently.
Yes, it is, absolutely. So if anyone feels that they can do a good article on a watch that they've owned like for a year, something like that, put it together. Obviously can't pay you, but if you want to put it in words, and I can put it down and put it on the blog. If anyone wants to put anything down in writing, it'd be nice to see. Eventually, obviously, it's a long time. I'd love to make this site something as big as all the rest of them.
I honestly think that, like, when he talks about like channel and content creators, tickers, like, giving a bit of the story, right? Like seeing a bit of, under the curtains, like what is the person about? What's their life about as it relates to what we're interested in, which is watches, right? Like, I think it's a good combination that any content creator can do. So yeah, if that's the path you're going down, man, I think it'd be interesting to read and see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's good. I just like stick it down. Just so yeah. I mean, I read a lot of these stuff. A lot of stuff on Instagram. There's a lot of like submersible wrist. He's a diver, but he's not a military diver. But he talks about military diving watches, and of course there is Watches of Espionage as an ex-CIA guy, and he writes about military watches. So I love all that stuff. So.
But even then, though, tickers, like even in A Man and His Watch, right? Like it's just simple stories, and I think even the simplest stories that have meaning, they sometimes become the most powerful. And like I said, in this whole community of like chasing investments and prices going up, prices going down, like people forget the stories behind it, and I think that really, honestly, to me at least, broke the cycle for me, and I think could break the cycle for a lot of people.
I'm going to write a blog about the experience that I had with my bamboo watch and how it lasted for 4.5 days until I got in a rainstorm and the bamboo just dissolved and the watch fell off.
But that's just something you would read. Like, that's just so outlandish that I would read that. Like,
water resistant to 1 drop.
Exactly.
Brian, I think you should buy one of those and you should go swimming in your pool and let's see how it survives it.
What do you think I've been doing over here? I haven't been watching the stream. I've been ordering them. I got the whole box set.
I'm sure you have.
Comes in a Happy Meal
Oh.
box.
Okay, now now next one we've got is the new black and bronze versions of the cool Maurice Lacroix Pontos S Diver.
Oh,
Do we like that?
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
hard no.
I'm
I'm a hard no.
prejudiced.
Hard no.
I'm prejudiced. Every time I see Maurice Lacroix or Frederic Constant, to me that just sounds like foreign for it. I really can't afford the real version, so I'm buying this one.
Right. Sorry, Tan. Did you
Hard
say
no. Hard no. Hard no. Hard no.
A hard no. Any particular reason? Is it the brand or
You don't even. It's honestly just the first reaction, right? If your first reaction is like immediate puke, like I mean, I can dissect it for you if you like, but I mean, I'm a hard no.
No? Oh right. Oh, that's on both of them. That's on the black one and the bronze one. Yeah.
Like the bronze one's a little bit better. Like maybe I would have swallowed the puke, but like fuck, the other one, it's just going full projectile, man. On the other one, like
projectile puke. Does the head spin round first, like The Exorcist?
Exactly, just like because Brian was talking and I just like no, like hard no.
Usually people do that when I talk too.
Have you got any bronze watches at all, Tam?
Nah, you know what? I'm always like very, very scared of the patina. Like a lot of people look forward to that, and I've never really seen like. I never really thought that would ever look. Yeah, I know. I never thought it would look good, so it's just not my thing.
Okay, I would say so. You'd want it to be polished. You'd be polishing it all the time because you wouldn't want it to patina. I'd love it.
Which would be like, yeah, which would just to me defeat the purpose of why you're even buying that. Like, you know.
But I bought one and I did a patina on one, really vicious patina on it. Well, in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Stuff smell. Yeah, you can do that, and then you clean it off
just,
again with
just
tomato
brush
ketchup
on it and let it sit there for
tomato ketchup, and it brushes it all off.
Yeah, imagine what it does to your stomach.
yes, that is true. So what was
I discovered after playing around with a bronze cased watch, and then I had the silver, the Tudor Black Bay silver, that I'm a little bit prissy or a bit of a dandy, and I don't like tarnish because I got tarnish on my body. I don't want it on my watch.
They're trying too much with little subtleties, right? Like you get the hint of black on one of the crowns. Like you got like on the other one there was like yellow on the minute hand. Like they're trying these little subtle cues. You got that texture dial. What Swiss is in the chat used to call them the skateboard dials on the Patek Philippe, like similar to that design. They're trying. They're trying too hard to like really polish a turd. And to me, it would be like if that came into my desk and someone was presenting that to me, I'd be like, go back to the drawing board and try to not make it look like a turd because that's what you're doing. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'm a little too harsh for this show, but
this is brilliant.
Yeah,
No. And again, I just go back to I don't think Maurice Lacroix or Frederic Constant have had an original design. I think they've just taken what everybody else is doing.
Here we go. Comment of the night. Silly Sausage. Never thought I'd say this, but let's look at the wooden watches some more.
Exactly.
Comment of the night. Sausage. Well done, mate. Love it. Love it. Brilliant. All right. So this piece of shit then. How much is this piece of shit going to be ripping you off for, do you think? I have no idea. I really don't know the price of these watches. Maurice Lacroix. Brian, hit me with it first, man.
$2,100 US.
Oof. Okay, I'm gonna go 2,600.
1750.
1750. Right. So
God, the black one looks like
right. So before the show ends, none of you ever made a watch. You use the term shitters.
I actually made a watch from parts. I did. Zenith came to town one time and did the assemble your thing and doodad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to make a Lamborghini to be able to appreciate it's a beautiful car. You know what I mean?
And look,
correct.
They gave me the loop that I used.
Wow.
There's my little Zenith loop.
That's actually very nice. I like that.
Yeah. So Ray, the word shitter came. It was coined by Archer years ago. He actually came up with that. I think. I'm sure it was from what I remember. So Gorilla Time says 1900. Design Atelier says $1,859.67 pesos. Matt H says the crown looks like an air rifle pellet.
It does. That's funny.
Yeah, shovel your back. Just behave yourself, man. That's all right.
Yeah, no showing the plumber's crack.
Right. Okay. Let's just see more about this, and let's see what else we can find out about it.
Hurry up before my eyes start bleeding.
Yeah. Okay. Model relax on the classic 1960s compressor style dive watch. Oh no, I don't like.
Look at the word. Wait, scroll back up one picture. Scroll up one picture. Stop. Look, they put a Maurice Lacroix M on the in the strap. Scroll down just a little bit.
Oh yes, that looks fucking tacky. That looks tacky, doesn't it? That looks tacky as fuck. That does, doesn't
Just
it?
to further remind you that you couldn't afford the real version of this watch. Here's another logo.
What's the real version? Sorry, what do you call the real version? Sorry, Brian.
It looks like it looks like Longines or IWC or all those other, Flieger styles. I don't know. It's shit. How much is it?
You always build up for everybody who wants one.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh shit. Oh.
I mean, I would say, Brian, that this is kind of exactly what we're describing it with the Zodiac piece, where you're talking about the fact that they're just, I wouldn't say copying, but they're, just using inspiration from other watches, and they all kind of look the same. Everything becomes ubiquitous like that. And then that's when brands do really funky stuff, like what Zodiac was doing. But I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't take a lot to tell, like, if something looks good or not. And yeah, I just think a lot of these designers miss the point.
Well, they were paid $20 on Fiverr to come up with it, so
you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, ladies and germs.
Yeah,
absolutely right. Let's see how much. So this is, I think I've said this before, that it's got a Solita SW 200-1. So if you're going to be paying a footload of money for something with a Solita SW 200-1 in, I'm not going to be happy. Because that is a £100 maximum movement, less than that.
We don't care about the movement. We care about how impressed people around us are going to think. Hurry up. Let's see how much.
Limited edition, well, that'll be in Walmart or something in a few months' time, won't it? The black one looks slightly better, but still.
Yeah.
That looks like a bad Porsche design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, okay. Come on, guys, you're all getting excited now. How much you want to pay for this piece of shit? There we go. 2,100 Swiss things. 2,650 euros.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
That's like 2,500 US. That's good money that you just killed. Don't do it, people. Buy a Longines. Oh, wait, that's a Swatch Group shitter. Never mind. Don't buy a Longines.
Yes. And the final one for the night. We're going off with a bang. An MB&F. It raises the complication stakes with the improved LM Sequential Flyback Platinum. Look at that fucker. If you want to tell the time, you get your phone out.
That looks like an owl sitting on two large balls with one hanging testicle.
There's definitely a lot going on, guys, both on the dial, on the case, like multiple pushers. It's just a bit much. It's just a bit much. A few less pushers, guys, and this could be perfect.
So it's all that mechanics to control that small fucking dial at the bottom at 6 o'clock. Which if you blink, you'll miss it.
Oh, that's the time down there? Oh, shit.
And it looks like it. Is it me or does it look like it's on an angle? It's on an angle, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so MB&F always does that big domed top thing and builds up inside the dome. And
what the fuck? This is going to be. How much is this fucker going to be?
Can I just tell you that after my first reaction, I didn't even notice the pushers and the fact that.
I was wondering why Brian was laughing until I pointed it out, and he's like, "Oh my god, I just saw it!"
Yes,
I didn't even see them.
5 pushes on a crown, for fuck's sake. Really?
You know what?
What the
Initial reaction was obviously a bit of shock, but as Brian described the dome, sapphire, and everything, like it does make sense for this brand. That's what they're looking. Their buyers are looking for something funky, so it does make sense. It's definitely different. It's a talking point. And I think that's where it becomes interesting with these pieces. You go to a meet, and it's number one, it's an MBNF. Number two, it's it's very different from an LM 101, for example. And so it becomes a talking point. So I get it. I get why they're doing this and why certain buyers would buy it.
This is a flex on their part to say, look what we can do, and great. And
it's
I have a great amount of respect for MBNF and Urwork and all these avant-garde designers and stuff. Never gonna buy it. Doesn't matter how much money I have. It's not my style. But what a piece.
The only one I would buy is the LM101, I would say. Because you get the design look that you're looking for, I'd say, from MBNF, and you don't have to go too far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. If I was going to go on that route, I'd get one of the Brigade traditions and get one with complications, and then you get the small dial, open worked look, and you get a bunch of widgets in there.
I mean, come on. I put it this way. I mean, the Christopher Ward Belcanto is fucking pretty impressive and probably a fuckload cheaper than this.
Oh, you couldn't even buy one of these crowns or one of these pushers for the same price as a Belcanto.
Are we talking? What are we talking for this? Are we talking 55, 60 grand?
No. This is going to be like, I'm going to say 200 US.
200 US. Oh, it's platinum for starting it. Fuck me, dad. It's platinum. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, well, it's all platinum. I think you're easily I'll say $268,000 just because I couldn't decide between 250 to 270 or 80. So
I'm going to say 225. That's serious fucking money, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then the question is that would you part with 225? If we, I'm shaking my head as well, Brian. Like I would not. Opportunity cost at 225 is like there's so many other pieces like Brian described that you could probably get for much less and get a lot more.
Yeah, well, and part of the education of myself as a watch collector was that I just don't like this avant-garde or new. This style doesn't suit me. I can appreciate what they are and the construction and the design and everything. It's not my style, I can appreciate all the Italian supercars, but I'm sorry, that's not my style. Yeah, I like British supercars because they leak oil on a regular basis.
So Peruka reckons it's 350k. Wow, he's got 350k.
It could be.
Yeah.
Grill Time reckons 120. Designer Tellier goes on the budget and 95. Matt H says 150. Wow. We're just going to ask this question now. Chili wants to know, what is your favourite watch, Tad? Let's put you on the spot. Your favourite watch.
I responded to him in the chat. It's my perpetual calendar, 5320, cream dial. I told you guys earlier, I'm all about the stories. And the Patek perpetual calendar for me was always my grail watch. I always associated the perpetual calendar with the brand because, obviously the history of them inventing the complication for the wristwatch, but also like the story that the watch is designed after a reference 1591, which is a piece unique, commissioned for folks know I'm of South Asian descent, Indian descent, by a quote unquote Maharaja in India, and it was a piece unique. It was a world first, I think, water resistant perpetual calendar, and they didn't reissue, but they designed the 5320 off of that. So that connection to my ancestry and the fact that the Patek perpetual is my grail was why I say it's my favorite watch right now.
Wow. Excellent.
I hate people that give educated and well thought out answers. So, John, we can't have him back next
I like it because it's shiny. I like it because it's shiny.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's just have a look how much this piece is.
The real answer is it makes the boom boom feel better.
So
Is this going to break the bank here, Tickers? Is it going to break the bank?
Look at this. Look at that. You got a minute. It's very, very.
The hardest part for me of doing
fancy.
the Tea and Tickers show is remembering how much I guessed, because usually it takes so damn long to get to what the price is.
It does. It does, because we build it up. You see, 5 pushers, 44mm platinum case, 18.2 millimeters thick. We complained about we complained about the new Seamasters a few months ago. Do you remember? That was about 18 mil, wasn't
18 millimeters thick. Will that even fit in your car, Tan?
I don't think so.
No.
I think you need to get the convertible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lower the watch in from the top.
Exactly.
Oh, look at the back of it. Look at that.
Wait,
Wow.
it's not an automatic? Screw it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a bamboo watch.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you just go back on one picture? Can you just go back on one picture? I just want to see that, because they have some internal angles here on this movement, is on the bridges. It's interesting.
Yeah.
A couple of them actually.
Some Côte de Genève.
Definitely not. It's definitely not going to be under 100K if it's finished like this. So Peruka could be right in the 300K mark.
Oh, 188 Swiss francs or 192 euro or 218,000 US dollars. I went 225, so I'm nearly there.
Yep, I was 200. Yep.
So if you add taxes on, the American taxes on to 218, what does that make it?
Depends on which state.
Okay, it could be 225 in one of the states, couldn't it?
It could be,
Yeah,
we have some states that are no tax. We have some that are 5 to 8 till you go to California, add 10, 11%.
Yes, I believe that Florida is one of the lowest.
6.5%. But they screw you in other places. So.
Wow.
That's
so. Yeah. If Tan isn't having to rush very quickly, I wonder if anyone who wants to ask Tan any watch orientated questions, because his knowledge on watches and stuff he's pretty damn good. So has anybody got any questions, watch questions for Tan?
Ask me anything. Go for it. I guess until they ask, Tickers, like I said earlier, the stories are very important to me. I buy watches specifically because of that. And it's really helped me, I'd say, in my collecting. It's helped me on like not flipping watches, not being so fickle, I think, with trends and whatnot. I really try to pick watches that mean something to me, and then I don't really worry if I'm going to lose money. I don't really care at that point. So I always use that as
I just want to add a side note to this MBNF, because I did the math, and that's approximately 9,688 of those bamboo watches.
Okay, Tan, your favorite Seiko?
Well, it's a good question, Chili Badger. I'm actually wearing a Seiko right now, and it is my favorite. It's a vintage Seiko Turtle 6306-7001. So it's the first edition of the Turtle JDM version. And because they do the 6309, I believe, is for the U.S. market. But yeah, it's a JDM version of the Turtle. My absolute favorite, my favorite case from Seiko was the Turtle. I was a big vintage Seiko collector. I've owned the 62 Moss. I've owned the Willard. I've owned the Cushion 8000. I've owned obviously the 6306. I've owned the 6309. I talked about this on Higgins' show yesterday. I had one of the earliest Seiko speed timers, a March 1969. So I think that's as early as you get for the automatic chronograph to come out. So big fan of Seiko. Love wearing Seiko, and I wear this vintage Seiko very, very often.
Okay, so what year is that then? When you say vintage, what year is that?
This one is 1978. Oh. Yeah. Just got it serviced. My watchmaker's like, yeah, man, go ahead, wear it, enjoy it. You can wash it, take it in the pool, no problem.
So, Thomas Burnett, Tan, what's your opinion on NATO straps?
I actually like NATO straps. I don't really get why people hate on NATO straps. Some of my favorite times with a Submariner is putting it on a NATO pre-ceramic, obviously Submariners. They look amazing on NATO straps, and yeah, even Speedmasters love NATOs.
Yes, exactly. I've got 50 odd watches, and I've probably got 40 odd NATOs lying about in in a drawer as well, separately, just for every occasion.
You have a
Absolutely.
40-to-1 ratio of NATO straps to watches you own.
Probably, yes, absolutely. Love them. Tan, tell me reasons not to get a vintage APQP dress watch.
There
Any
isn't.
reason for
There aren't many Swiss to not get one. I mean, they're good value right now. Historically significant to the brand. There really isn't a reason. Higgins and I obviously debated this because he brought this up with me as well, saying, "Hey, you simp the Patek perpetuals a little too much. Like AP's perpetual calendars were definitely very important to the brand. Good prices. Really nice. If you like those kinds of watches, Swiss, like honestly, like for me." There's not a lot of downside to it. Size maybe, but I know that you wear smaller watches anyway. So like honestly, I can't see a single reason for you not to get a vintage. I mean, vintage outside of the fact that if you don't want to deal with vintage, maybe would be the only reason not to get it. But any other reason, Swiss, green light, pull the trigger.
There you go. So, Tan, are you an Amiga fan? Do you like the Amigas?
I do. I've owned multiple Seamasters. I've owned multiple Moon watches. I never actually bought the Sapphire Sandwich for some reason, Moonwatch, but yeah, I love Amiga.
Have you got any at the moment?
I do. I have a 3861 Moonwatch, and that's in Hesselite. I actually, one part of the 1861 that really bothered me was the bracelet. And I know a lot of people don't like the 3861 bracelet, but just the fact that it tapers compared to the previous gen to me was like, it really has made me like that watch a lot more.
Yeah, the old Hesselite crystal. That's the one you want in it. That is the one you want.
It's funny because everyone kind of, it's funny because in the past that's always been the one to get, but in today's day and age, I get questions like, why would you want to deal with, the plastic glass? Why don't you just get sapphire? It's just so much cooler. You see the
Polywatch always works. Polywatch works. And second of all, as I've said in my on my website because I've had this for a year now, once you see the milky ring on a sapphire sandwich, you can't unsee it. The white milky ring on the outside of it.
Yeah.
You can't unsee it once you see it.
No, that's true.
But again, that wasn't the one that went to the moon.
Yeah, but honestly, for me, like when it comes to even Speedmaster, like Moonwatches, like I like the Speedmaster. Like I like the Tintin model. I like their Ultraman model. I like I don't know if you've ever seen their Mitsukashi model. It was a Japanese department store. It was like a panda dial. Obviously, all the new white dial is all the rage, but that panda dial Mitsukashi was pretty rare. There's only I think like a couple hundred in the world, but really really cool.
I like the Alaska. Love the Alaska project.
Yeah, Alaska project, famous.
One of the friends of the show is RJ from Fratello, and he is Mr. Speedy Tuesday, as you probably know. He invented the Speedy Tuesday thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to last year, I went to his office and we saw he's got like a case of 13 because his lucky number's 13, so he's got a case of 13 Speedmasters. He's got more than 13, but he's got some around. But
honestly, to me, that lineup is as interesting as the Submariner lineup is when you're looking at vintage Submariners, and you get all kinds of. I mean, Gorilla Time and I have talked at lengths about this of the 6.538 Explorer dial versus just standard dial, and Bart Simpson dials and all these different. I mean, in Speedmasters, there's so much variance and depth to the lineup since its inception. So I really find collecting it pretty cool.
Okay, Thomas Burnett is asking, what is your opinion, please, on micro brands?
I respect micro brands. I respect what they do. For me personally, it's not what I necessarily look for. However, that doesn't mean that if a micro brand does an interesting design or a cool look or a cool piece that I like, just from aesthetics perspective. You guys know me. I do judge watches, on the finish and kind of the whole package. But if something cool comes out, I don't really dismiss it or anything. I'm interested, but it's not my real primary look or primary I look at for watches.
Okay, Paroka asks, should I sacrifice 2 Rolexes to get a 5146G on a WG bracelet?
Yes.
Next. Yeah, I was going to say unpopular opinion, but Brian made it a little bit more popular. Like most people would say you're crazy to trade at least any Rolexes for anything, but and especially a Patek on a bracelet, right? Not always the most popular, but I know that watch, Swiss, and it's actually very nice. So I would say yes as well.
Will it hold its value? Is anything holding its value at the moment?
Look, Swiss is going to buy that on the secondary market, right? And so all the depreciation on that watch is probably
gone.
Is already gone. So he's not going to lose money, and it'll probably appreciate with inflation.
But Swiss, you got to be careful with that bracelet with your hairy arms, because that bracelet's going to grab them.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with their bracelets. I like the look of them. I've never actually tried on too many, so yeah. A good piece, man. Like annual calendar, white gold bracelet. Like I think it would look beautiful.
Wow, excellent. Right, guys, going to wrap this up. Okay, so thank you everybody for getting involved like you do, getting the prizes, talking about the shitter. What a shitter that was today. Everybody get them. Please, I said, so one final shout out. Please go to my blog, teaandtickers.uk. Have a read of those articles there, which I've written myself. Leave some nice comments on them. Share it with all your watch friends, please, because I'd like it to get lots of traffic and momentum. If anyone says he's good at writing articles on watches, please let me have them, submit them, and let's get them in print if that's all right. I'd love to. Tanzeel, thank you so much for joining us. You are a wonderful guest, seriously.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate you guys having me, and
just
sorry for going a little bit too crazy on some of those watches.
No, listen, mate, we like it. We love it.
Yeah.
We don't care. We love it. It's passion, mate. There's one thing about this channel. It's passionate and watches.
That's how you do it. That's
we
the way
love
to
something,
do it.
we say we love it. If it's shit, we say it's shit. That's it. That's what we do.
Awesome.
Say it as it is. Absolutely. Everybody loves watches on this channel. That's one thing about it. It's drama free talking about watches. That's what we like about here. So Matt H says lots of pre-owned watches in Brighton Lanes and another new shop opening by the Pump House. Things are looking up, I think. Yes, I do actually think that they say that the market's dead, but there is money out there, isn't there? There's definitely money out there. They might be slowed up a bit. I'm sure there's money out there. You just look at the auctions, don't you? The people spending money on the auctions. Now there is an auction tomorrow, Sotheby's. So if you're not doing out tomorrow afternoon, anybody, 2:00 in the afternoon. I think there's a Sotheby's watch auction online, which can be quite interesting. There's Rolexes and stuff like that. It might be worth having a look at that. So there is money out there. Silly Sausage says, a very pleasant show. Lovely. Thank you. Gorilla Time. Nice show. Tickers and Tan. Brian, well done. Yeah, thank you very much. Right, so Tan, have you got time to stay in the back room for a quick chat, you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all next week. And just play the outro. Thank you very much. Good night.